welcome to my presentation. Today, I'm going to be talking about the business ethics, corporate social responsibility, or CSR. And today, I'm going to be talking about Starbucks, how they operate, how they do their program, the CSR program. So let's begin. So what is CSR? Well, CSR is also corporate social responsibility that mentions the requirements for businesses to be positive corporate people. CSR includes going beyond the law needs in looking after the environment and contributing to social well-being. It is widely acknowledged as a duty of competitory businesses. Corporate social responsibility surpasses by earning money for shareholders. It is concerned with defending the benefits of all stakeholders such as consumers, communities, suppliers, and employees, in which businesses function. The examples of CSR contain accepting humane employee practices, caring for the environment, and appealing in philanthropic activities. Some individuals struggle that the businesses owe no responsibility to society externally generating as much money as possible inside the law. However, those who help CSR trust that businesses should follow in-depth purpose beyond increase of revenue. So next time I'm going to be talking about why is CSR important. Well, a planned approach to CSR is progressively important to a business competitiveness. CSR can bring benefits in terms of costing savings, customer relationship, risk management, HR management, innovation capacity, and access to capital. It also encourages more on the social and environmental responsibility from the cooperative segment at a time when the disaster has damaged consumer assurance of stages of faith in the business. There are two different types of corporate social responsibility to take in consideration. The first one contains of corporation offering funding and resources for useful social causes. For example, donating money or to charities for the employees. For the majority of the people, this is the meaning utilized when thinking about CSR. The second type of corporate social responsibility involves the putting together a real strategy to make products or provide services are in the best suit of the interests of the society. These contain things like using harmless materials in design and manufacturing, corporate environmental creativities, and other influences, for example, economic development and job creation. There are also some segments and how is CSR important. So here we talk about social media visibility is the first one. One of the motives that corporations should have noticeable CSR campaigns is due to the importance and the occurrence of social media. Corporations that want to defend the brand comprehend that social media is an essential part of public awarenesses. When a corporation exercises a social responsibility in the procedure of fundraising and setting up employee charity programs, using social media to promote these activities supports to create an optimistic branding environment, and it is a great method to involve with the target audience on a more in-depth that goes beyond their products/services. The next one is public relation benefits. Public relations are a very strong tool when it comes to determining consumer perception and building an image for businesses. Corporations that rigorously promote the social responsibility activities often make a start to broadcast these efforts through the media. Getting the word out of corporation donations or other CSR creativities is a strong branding tool that can aid and support um, to build advertising for businesses in both print media and online. Next is government relations. Corporations that place an importance of CSR characteristically have an easier involvement when dealing with representatives and government regulators. In contrast, companies that present an irresponsible indifference for social responsibility inclined to find themselves fend off numerous inquiries and investigations, often brought out on the persistence of public service organizations. The more positive the public perception is that the corporation takes CSR seriously, the less likely is that the advanced groups will launch public campaigns and request government inquiries in contradiction of it. And last but not least, we have the establish an optimistic workplace environment. So this is one of the highest advantages of promoting social responsibility in the workplace is the optimistic environment you shape for your employees. When employees and management feel like they're working for a business that has the true integrity that will most likely be, so they'll be more enthusiastic and be thrilled to their jobs. This can establish a sense of community and teamwork that brings everybody together and go towards to satisfy a more creative members of staff. Next will be how CSR measured. Numerous businesses have difficulties measuring the effects of the CSR creativities. Some of the advantages, for example, improved reputation and consumer loyalty are indeed tough to qualify. So making it problematic to measure the value of activities. Although measurement is very important as it allows to reveal the importance of activities to stakeholders, improve decision making to move forward with CSR programs, and bring into line activities with corporate aims and objectives, for example, decreasing turnover or developing employment skills. By measuring the influence of CSR, businesses can link the value of activities to their bottom line. For example, they can start a connection between employee satisfaction, lower training costs, and skill development. Also, growth in sales going towards to increase revenue and lower turnover rate. Okay. Next one, we'll be talking about the purpose of CSR. So what's the use of CSR? Well, I personally believe that the purpose of CSR is that it is helpful to think about the limitation to follow profit. Businesses nowadays always go and have a challenge of balanced profitability with the obligation of ethics. CSR and ethics together support the minimum, but also to surpass the minimum of what businesses do no matter what cost is in. There's always a side of ethics that talks about doing the right thing and actually surpassing the minimum, and try to make a good environment globally, so to make a world a better place. By treating everyone fairly, and etc. CSR contains on following not only the requirements but also try to do the right thing, whether it is a philanthropic way to, or simply go out of the way to make the members of staff experience a knowledge and expressive workforce. And next is the pyramid of the CSR. So Carroll's Corporation Social Responsibility Pyramid is a straightforward framework that supports to argue how and why businesses should encounter their responsibility socially. The main features of Carroll's CSR are that the CSR is constructed on the foundation of profit, so profit must always come first. Then the requirements for businesses to make sure it obeys with every law and obligation. And beforehand, a business reflects its philanthropic choices. It also needs to encounter its moral responsibilities. And here are the 4 duties of the responsibilities for the pyramid CSR. So first is economic. So they're accountable of the business to be lucrative, and the only way to survive and take advantage of society in the long term. Next is legal. They are responsible of obeying laws and regulations. Ethical. They're responsible to act morally and ethically. And philosophic. They were responsible to return to society. And the responsibility is not is optional, but it's still vital. It's still really important. That's the second part. Sorry. Alright. And then I'm going to talk about the evaluation of Carroll's CSR pyramid. So the strengths are: it's easy to understand. It's a straightforward message that CSR has more than one element, and the downside is that business don't always do what they claim when it comes to CSR. Next time we talk about Starbucks, and we'll talk about the introduction of Starbucks and how they do their CSR programs. So Starbucks is a coffee business and a coffee house chain in the United States. Starbucks was first established in Seattle in Washington in 1971. So Starbucks, they purchase and bake superior whole bean coffees and sells them, combined by fresh, rich brewed coffees, Italian espresso beverage, cold mixed beverages, and a diversity of balanced food products, a selection of premium teas and beverage-related accessories and equipment, primarily through its company-operated retail stores. Starbucks similarly sells coffee. They normally sell coffee and tea products and authorizations to its trademark done over by the channels such as the approved stores and done by certain of its licensing and fairness investees. Starbucks makes and sells a diversity of ready-to-drink brews. Starbucks' objective is to start one of the most well-known and respected brands in the world. To attain this goal, they plan to continue the expansion of its retail process and to expand specialty operations and to selectively chase all other opportunities to influence Starbucks brand by familiarizing new products, develop and improve new channels of distribution. And here I'm going to talk about the how they do the CSR program. So Starbucks CSR strategy is founded on three important areas. One is ethical sourcing, two is to the community, and three is the environment. So here, of course, to have an optimistic influence on the communities it operates it. Starbucks grows community stores that collaborate with local non-profits. So the non-profits, these stores operate with proposals serving target to encounter the needs of the community they are located at. Starbucks donate like so that's the ethical sourcing. That's next. So Starbucks has promised to hire a minimum of 10,000 experts and armed by 2018 next year, and emphasize on diversity and presence and has been industrialized the Starbucks Foundation. So here we're talking about ethical sourcing, which commands the way that Starbucks buys its product. The business is committed to make sure that the coffee, tea, and cocoa and factory-made products are responsibly and morally produced and bought. They say the success is to link the success of the farmers and supply who grow and produce the products, and so they only buy these products from farmhouses and manufacturers that they obey certain standards of the moral treatment. Starbucks mentions globally as the most important business partner and takes a complete approach to dropping the environment impact To handle this, they establish lead expert stores and are dedicated to recycle and saving water and energy. That links to the environment, and following strategies that address climate change on a global stage. Normally, Starbucks tries to be as environmentally friendly as possible in each way possible of the processes. So, why does it work, you may ask? Well, Starbucks decides to invest its stakeholders they work with. When a business puts people first and emphasizes on making good changes for the community they operate with the help and consumer notice. Actually, according to info, studies demonstrates that when businesses support social or environmental issues, about 93% of its customers have a good image of the business. Yes, as you can see over there. And so its consumers have more good image of business. Starbucks plan and subsequent outcomes are proof good of that study in addition. So moreover, when businesses like to invest in the people, they see that there is less turnover and members of staff become supporters of the business too. And to conclude this, in this presentation, I've covered all there is about CSR and how it operates within the business in an ethical way, covering Carroll's pyramid of the four features of CSR, and to back it up as an example that that Starbucks is a great company that experienced the CSR well and how they treat their stakeholders fairly. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you.